Hello, everybody, and welcome to the RCD ShareNet. As always, I'm Dave Thompson, Community Outreach Coordinator, and coming up is a whole bunch of information about International Invisible Illness Awareness Day. So I hope you can join us. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. And today, happy May 12th. Today is International Invisible Illness Awareness Day. And one of the reasons why I'm wearing this very loud shirt is I am a patient or a sufferer of fibromyalgia, a rare form of fibromyalgia, and our color is purple. So I am supporting with my shirt today. And I will talk a little bit more about colors connected to illnesses in this session today as well. So, what is International Invisible Illness Day? Well, for one thing, invisible illness has basically is a term to talk about a group of illnesses and disabilities that are not as readily seen by the common person or whatnot. You can understand someone's disability if they're in a wheelchair or crutches or cast or whatever it is. It's more obvious. These ones are a little bit more hidden, and it's a little harder to understand what that person might be going through. So that's a real quick way about it. So what constitutes an invisible illness? Well, I am going to read you 5 facts about an International Invisible Illness Day. So today is the 29th anniversary of this day, and it was started by a Canadian group in Ontario. I believe they're from Ontario, called CIND, Action CIND. That's CIND, and that stands for Chronic Immunological and Neurological Diseases. I'm going to have a bruised tongue after this today. And we here at RCD have been recognizing International Invisible Illness Day for 11 years, I believe. I may have made a mistake there. It's either 11 or 12. But we have been recognizing this day for quite a while as well. So the reason why May 12th is fact number 2. Well, this is something I totally didn't know until I started researching it for this program. It honors the great Florence Nightingale. And if you don't know who Florence Nightingale is, she is basically the founder of modern nursing. And this is her birthday today. And she's an important social reformer, statistician, and the founder of modern nursing. Despite being virtually bedridden with a painful and fatiguing illness resembling something like some of the illnesses in this group, she established the Nightingale Training School in 1860. So that is why they chose this day to honor. So the third fact about this day is what kinds of illnesses, what are the main illnesses that are sort of recognized today? And there's 4 main ones. And again, it's going to be a tongue bruiser. The first one is chronic fatigue syndrome, which is an older term, which is still used. And that's broken down into CFS, is basically. But a lot of people that have chronic fatigue syndrome, they didn't like the term. And so they pushed for a different term because they felt that it was very negative and felt that it sort of made them feel like they were lazy. So they call it, the medical term is myalgic encephalomyelitis. And that just breaks down to ME. So ME and CFS are basically the same thing. And then there's fibromyalgia, which is usually just referred to as FM or FMS. Using S as a syndrome. And then there's multiple chemical sensitivities, which the most popular one is Lyme disease, where you get from tick bites when you're camping. And I have a sister that has Lyme disease. And this one I didn't know is one that's not as common, is Gulf War syndrome. And Gulf War syndrome showed up after, of course, the Gulf War. And it was kind of along the lines of chemical sensitivities. It's not like PTSD. It's a medical issue, and it had to do with some of the chemicals and things that were used in the war. And soldiers were coming back and having all these breathing problems and all kinds of other allergic reactions and things like that. And they actually coined this term Gulf War syndrome. And that's basically just GWI. Or Gulf War illness, actually, is referred to. So those are the big four. Now, the other ones that are usually lopped into this are things like autism, celiac disease, which is a gluten allergy. My sister has that. Crohn's and epilepsy, irritable bowel syndrome, or IBD, as they refer to it. Lou Gehrig's disease, which is more commonly known as ALS. Lupus, Lyme disease, MS, or multiple sclerosis, and Parkinson's. There are several others, and basically now with issues of mental health, most mental health and depression and whatnot, and bipolar has also been added to that list as well. And so I referred to earlier in the start about colors, and some of the illnesses have, just like I know everyone knows pink, right? Pink is always cancer, right? Breast cancer awareness. Yellow and daffodils is, I always forget that one, but it's a good way to connect colors to an illness. So purple is for anything from lupus, fibromyalgia, I believe, and I think MS even uses purple. Blue is ME, chronic fatigue syndrome. And green, of course, is Lyme disease, because that's an easy connection with Lyme. It's written differently, but that's a really easy connection to use green. So if you see those, what I'm going to tell you about is some ways that you can get involved in these and find more about them and how you can support research and everything like that. Look for these colors today. You may see someone with a green bulb in their house and go, it's not Christmas, it's not Easter, it's not anything. Why do they have a green light sitting there, right? And now you'll know. Last year, I believe the BC Place was lit up for May 12th, all purple. And I believe a lot of people probably wondered what that was going on. So these today, look for these things. You may see them. So what I'm going to talk about now is some of the ways you can get involved. Now, for one thing, I have a whole bunch of links at the bottom on the description page there that you can check up, and they can give you more information about what's going on. Well, Canada celebrates this day usually. The Americans' Invisible Illness Day is in September, so it's a little bit different. But because a Canadian organization started the International Day, I think that's why Canada usually follows this one. So I've got 3 ways that you can get involved, and they're very easy. And if you don't, if you are very sick or whatnot else, but you'd like to help out, or you'd like to maybe get a little bit more, or maybe you feel this is time to maybe do some advocating and maybe help some other people, great. So the first one's called Put Yourself on the Map. And it's very simple. It's a project that I believe is started in the UK. And they're basically mapping where everyone with chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, are living. And they're making a worldwide map. And so you can just go on the website, pick your location, click it, and then you're added to that map. So it's a neat, very easy way to do something like that. So it's called Put Yourself on the Map. The second one is one that I did a couple years ago, and it's also a really neat idea. It's called the Million Missing Campaign. And one of this was thought up from the UK. They have a very big problem with chronic fatigue syndrome in the UK because of their weather and all the rain and the change in the barometer. And it's a big struggle. It's very rampant in the UK. And what they do is they say, well, when you have chronic fatigue syndrome, you miss out on a lot of things. You miss out on a lot of the things that you couldn't do. So they have asked people this day to take a pair of shoes or footwear that they would have used and put a sign on that say million missing hashtag, the hashtag or whatever, and just place the shoes and take a picture of it. And I've seen some of the pictures. They're just amazing, some of them. What I did was I took a picture of my son's rugby cleats, and I said that because of my illness, I missed getting to teach him how to play this game because it's way too rough of a game for me to do in my condition. And took a picture of that with the hashtag. So again, a real easy way to do it. If you liked skating, if you liked snowshoeing, whatever, you just put the sign on there and a picture and you post it on their Facebook page or Twitter, and you've added to the cause. And the other one is really neat, and I've kind of sort of mentioned it. It's called Light Up the Night. And it's a campaign to basically go around and ask businesses, large buildings, anything like that have sort of static security lighting or whatnot else, to switch it out for a color for one night and support their cause. So I mentioned BC Place. I know that the Holiday Inn, or the little hotel right off the bridge on Oak Street as you come into Richmond, they change their lights there against their wall. And so if you have a place that you think can do that, or you have some leftover colored lights from a celebration, I actually have a blue light I'm going to hang in my window this year. And maybe a neighbor walks by and sees it, and a couple weeks later runs into you and goes, "Hey, why was that blue light hanging in here?" And then you've passed on that information to someone that may not have ever heard about it, right? And those small things can build up. So look for those things. Check out the links below. And there is a lot of other things that you can do, but these are really simple, really easy ways to sort of get involved, and without a huge amount of effort on anyone's part. And I remember just a story. That was the hard thing. Once I spent several years sick, I couldn't really do the standard things, which would usually be to donate money, right? And that was difficult. But these are ways that someone can get involved and help out without having, because usually money is a tight issue. So again, May 12th, each year, it's just there to empower and inform the public about these illnesses, about supporting people. If I always get this, that when I tell somebody what I have, they go, "Oh, I have a buddy or brother's uncle's cousin's aunt," or whatever, right? And so remember today, keep the lookout for the lights if you're driving around the city. And if you just happen to see a purple light where there usually never was one, let somebody know about it. And then next time you're in the hardware store and you see purple lights for sale, you grab one. Very simple to do. So in closing, happy May 12th. Go out there and look for the lights. And if any of the stuff that I've said today has inspired you, please check the resources below. My email's there. You can get a hold of me if you'd like to. And but if not, just take this day to be good to yourself and start that way. Or take this day to contact that friend or cousin or aunt that you know and say hi to them and wish them a happy May 12th and remind them to take it easy today. And that's the start. So this is the start of, on the ShareNet, we're going to be doing invisible illness education and topics all month. We already started on May 10th with remote working realities. And next week, I will be here with a two-part, on the 17th and 19th, I'll be here with a two-part interview with Eileen Davidson, who is a very unique advocate for arthritis research. And I'll be doing a two-part interview with her. And then on May 26th, I'll be doing a demonstration of adapted cycling and options for how you can still get out there and ride adapted cycling and adapted transportation. So take a look for that on our YouTube channel. So again, May 12th, Invisible Illness Awareness Day. Bye, everybody. Be sane, be safe, and most of all, please be home. Bye-bye.